Hi guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As we all know, my name is Salirofiat Adeshewa. If you are just joining our YouTube channel, on this channel we talk about Allah. Basically, we talk about Islam, we talk about the Hadith and the Sunnah, what we are supposed to do as a Muslim woman and as a Muslim man, we are supposed to do to be steadfast in our faith. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about the voice of a Muslim woman in Islam. And to some people, they will always think that a woman does not have a voice in Islam. A woman is always like sidelined because men are always in charge. To start with, we all know that a woman's voice is a awrah, and she is also entitled to speak in Islam, but in some aspects. To some scholars, the voice of a woman is regarded as a awrah, and while to some is not regarded as an awrah, in the sense that it is well known that a woman is not prohibited from talking in Islam, which does not make woman speech around in Islam. In relating to this argument, women are not prohibited from speaking in Islam, in as much as they are not speaking to seduce people or they are not speaking in a seductive manner that Allah indicated in Quran 33 verse 32, which states, "Wives of the Prophet, you are not like other women. If you fear Allah, do not be too complacent in your speech, lest those with disease heart should covet you, but speak in a straightforward manner." This indicates that you should always be aware of the way you speak. You should always know how to speak. Don't speak in a seductive way. And in Islam, it is halal to speak to your husband in a very seductive way. This verse is telling us that we should not speak in a seductive way to people that are not our husband. This indicates that women's voice are allowed in Islam. People can hear women's voice in Islam, which does not really signifies that women's voice are not supposed to be heard in Islam. In addition to this, women are allowed, they are not prohibited from reciting the Quran. According to the Hadith, Ibn Abi Hatim reported that the Prophet ﷺ had a woman reciting this particular verse of the Quran, chapter 88, verse 1. Someone was reciting this Quran aloud when the Prophet ﷺ is walking at night in the streets of Medina. And when the Prophet ﷺ had this woman reciting the Quran, it did not stop her from reciting it, which makes us understand that reciting Quran aloud as a Muslim woman is not prohibited. And aside from that, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ asked questions from the wives of the Prophet, which they responded. So we cannot say that the voice of woman in Islam is prohibited. But in the case of Salat, when it comes to prayer, women are not allowed to speak during Salat. It is prohibited for a woman to speak during Salat, even if the Imam make mistake of the surah while reciting the surah, and the men in the congregation does not figure out the error. The only thing the woman can do is to clap. And I have something for you guys to take home, which states that Muslim women are allowed to call the adhan, but this is allowed when there is no man among them to call the adhan for them. This happens whenever probably they are alone in the house or in a very secluded place where only women are. Because Aisha radiallahu anha used to call the adhan for the Muslim women, and she used to say the Iqamah too, so that she's going to lead them in Salah. So I think that should be the end of today's topic, and I feel you guys have taken one or two from this topic today, and I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us steadfast in our religion and make us one of those who will enter Al-Jannah Firdaus and increase us in deen, increase us in ilmu. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our good intentions, accept all our acts of worship as an act of ibadah. May He protect us, guide us, and I still remain Sally Rabiat Adeshewa. Thank you for listening to me and thank you for staying tuned on the channel today. See you in the next episode. Bye.
لأنك الله لا خوف ولا قلق